Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Debbie, and if you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click that button down below and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So for today's look, I'm gonna do an easy glam. I have a couple of new products which I'm really excited to try out and see if I like them. So we are just gonna get started. As you can see, I have my brows already filled in. I used the powder for today. I also added a little bit of moisturizer, which is the CeraVe, and that is pretty much it. So I am going to put some concealer on the eyelids. I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline Fit Me, and I'm just going to use this as an eyeshadow base. To blend that out, I'm gonna grab this Morphe brush. This is a Morphe M173 brush. And I'm just going to blend this all over the eyelid. And to set the concealer, I'm going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder. It is the pressed powder. And I'm just grabbing this e.l.f. blush brush and just setting the concealer. Alright, so continuing on with the eyes, I have a brand new eyeshadow palette which I was super excited to see go on sale at Ulta. I believe it was like $23.50 or something like that, but this is the Tarte Tartelette palette. I remember when this first came out, I was like, oh my god, I want it because I have the Tarte in Blooms palette, and I was like, oh my god, I want it. So of course it looks exactly similar to it. It has the mirror, the large mirror, and then it has all of those beautiful warm shadows, which are beautiful. So I'm gonna grab this brush right here. This one is a BH Cosmetics brush, and I'm gonna go in with Latte. So it's this shade right here on the last row, and I'm just going to apply that in the crease area, just like this. I love this BH Cosmetics brush. It is super soft and it just blends the eyeshadows so beautifully, you guys. This feels like a bunny. It's so soft. I saw BH Cosmetics came out with another brush set, and I was like, oh, I don't need any more brushes, but I want them. So of course the shadows are just blending out beautifully, and the pigmentation, I mean, there's no doubt with Tarte. I've never had an issue with Tarte shadows. This is beautiful, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. It is absolutely beautiful. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Cashmere, which is this shade here, and I'm using the same brush, and I'm just going over that first shade. Alright, so I'm actually going to add a little bit of warmth in there, which is this shade here. Sorry for the glare. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of this shade in there with the same brush, just like that. And now I'm going to grab this brush right here. This is the JH40 brush, and I'm going to grab Cozy, which is this shade right here, and I'm just going to apply that in the crease just for some definition. This is super easy too, you guys. It is literally just layering shadow on top of shadow and then just adding a little bit of depth to the eye. There you go. I feel like that's pretty good. Alright, so we're going to keep everything pretty matte today. I'm gonna grab this JH41 brush and I'm gonna go in with Sunrise and S'more. So it's these two top shades right here. I'm gonna open it up a little bit because I know you guys are getting the glare. So I'm gonna go in with this shade and this shade right here, mixing those two together and applying that all over the lid just like this. And don't worry if you mess up a little bit, you can always go over, the crease and add a little bit more depth to the eye. It's a lot easier to go back in with a shadow than to remove it, so it is okay, you guys. This is such a nice palette. Ooh, so happy I picked this up. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of Cozy, which is this darker shade here, with the JH40 brush again. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an eyeliner brush. Let me see if I have one in here. Okay, so I'm going to grab this BH Cosmetics brush right here. It's an angled brush, and I'm going to grab a Fireside. I think this shade is actually in the Tarte and Bloom palette. Can't remember, but I'm just going to grab that shade and just do a little bit of a wing with this shadow. Nothing crazy. All right, so far I am loving this palette. These shadows are absolutely gorgeous, you guys. I hope you guys can see that. Ugh, they are so nice and they blend beautifully. So this is what the eyes are looking like so far. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some lashes real quick, and I'm gonna go in with these right here. These are the Kiss number 11 lashes. I picked up a new pack because my other one was just very nasty. I've used them to death and I needed another one. So I have this, and I'm just going to apply this to the eyes, and I will be right back. All right, so I'm back. Now we're gonna move on to face primer. So I'm gonna go with two primers today. This is the Laura Mercier Foundation Hydrating Primer. I have used this in the past. This is a really good hydrating primer, you guys. I have combo skin, I have oily, and I have dry. And recently my skin has been on the dry side in certain areas. So I usually apply this right here on the smile lines, right here on the outer perimeter of my face, a little bit on the forehead. I don't get too dry on the forehead. I'm usually pretty oily on the forehead area. So now that I applied that one for hydration, I'm gonna go in with this new primer that I have been dying to try, and I finally decided to purchase it. This is the Touch and Soul primer, the No Pore Blem primer. So that's kind of cute. So let's see. I know this is a lot of people's like go-to primer for pores, so I'm really excited. Ooh, it's pretty. It's in a pink, like what is it, bottle. It's really pretty. It's a frosted bottle. It has a pump, which I'm really excited about. So I'm just going to grab a little bit. I don't know how much to use. And it is also liquidy, just like the hydrating primer. I thought it wasn't gonna be, but all right. I thought it was gonna be more of a silicone type of primer, but it's not. Let's see. Okay. It has a scent, like kind of like the Soap and Glory, but very, very light, not as strong. Doesn't it smell? a little bit like that. I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys have tried this before and if you kind of get like Soap and Glory from, you know, the smell. I really feel like it smells like it a little bit. All right, so now for foundation, I'm gonna go in with 2 different shades. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I have the shade Golden Beige. This one's too light. And then I have Desert Beige, which is too dark. So we're gonna mix them together and hopefully get my perfect shade. To blend it out, I'm gonna grab my Real Technique sponge. All right, so mixing those 2 foundations did the job. Now I'm gonna go in with concealer. I'm going with these 2 right here. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. This is the Full Wear Concealer, and this one is in the shade Cashew, and this one is in the shade Cashmere. This one is to brighten up my under eye, and this one is kind of like my everyday. So I'm gonna add my Cashew first, and a little bit goes a long way. Be careful. It's very full coverage. Like if you need a full coverage concealer from the drugstore, this one is going to be like the best choice. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cashmere right here on the inner part right there, and that is it. Just, that's it, no more. I'm going to go in first with the Real Technique sponge and blend it out. And you see, this is even like super light, and I added a little bit of the light. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush in a minute and just make sure I blend in the inner part of the eye. So let me grab this brush right here. And this is just going to help blend out those smaller areas. This is a BH Cosmetics sculpting brush. Now I'm going to blend this side. This is a really good concealer for, I believe I got it for $12.99 at CVS. And this is very comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape. All right, so now to cream contour, I'm gonna grab a different shade in that concealer. This one, I picked up a brand new one. This one's in the shade Honey. I usually use the shade Cocoa, but I wanted to try this one to see if this one would give me a little bit more of a natural look compared to the other one because it's a lot darker, but I can still get away with it. So I'm gonna grab this brush right here and just blend this out. All right, so I also like to go over everything with the damp sponge just to make sure there aren't any harsh lines and it just looks a lot more natural on the skin. So I have to say that that color is actually really nice. I would definitely use this one a lot more. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna grab a little bit more of that shade Honey. I'm gonna add like a little dot on the back of my hand. And I'm grabbing that sculpting brush, and with that little dot, the littlest bit, you guys, just like that, I'm grabbing it and I'm just going to contour the nose. And I'm just going to go over that with the Real Technique sponge as well. All right, so to set the under eye and a couple of other areas on the face, I am going to go in with my RCMA powder and my Makeup Revolution translucent powder as well. I like to mix these two right here. I just feel like they, I don't know, they give me a nice setting I don't know, under eye. So I'm just gonna mix both of them together just like that. To clean off that setting powder, I'm going to grab this Sigma brush right here. This is the tapered highlighter brush, which is the F35, and I'm just going to wipe it off. Alright, so now for bronzer, I'm going to grab this large brush right here from BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to grab the LA Girl Bright Beam Babe Highlighter and Bronzer palette. I really like one bronzer in this palette, and that one is called Sun Soaking, which is this one right here. It reminds me a lot of the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Alright, so what I also like to do is I like to go back in with some of the setting powder and grab my Real Technique sponge and just reverse contour and just clean this up a bit, just like that. And I'm just going to remove that right now. I don't want to leave that on there for too long. So it's literally like half a minute. Just like that. I'm going to go over the bronzer. Just make sure there are no harsh lines. Just like that. Alright, so before I move on, I like to go in with this e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist real quick. And this is just going to help all of the products just melt into the skin a lot nicer, and it's going to look less powdery. Alright, so jumping right back into the eyes with that Tartelette palette, I'm going to grab this JH43 brush, and I'm going to grab Latte, which is this one right here, and a little bit of Warmth. And I'm just going to apply that on the lower lash line. And now for eyeliner, I'm going to go in with this one from Giorgio Armani. This is the Waterproof Smooth Silk Eye Pencil in the number 2. Alright, so now I'm going to add a little bit of blush. I'm going to go in with this Tarte palette right here. And I'm going to grab this shade right here. This is like a coral shade. It is called Fortunate. And I'm using this Kenzie brush. It is a flat top brush, and I'm just going to apply that right here on the apples, the littlest bit. Don't want to add too much, and just run it back into the bronzer, maybe a little bit on the bridge, just like that. And I'm also going to grab this palette from Makeup Revolution. This is the Ultra Blush palette. And I'm just going to turn this matte brush into a baked blush because I'm going to grab this shade right here. This one, it's also like on the corally side. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of that right over that blush, just to give it a little bit of, you know, of a highlight, just like that. A little bit on the nose, just like that. It looks really pretty. It looks natural too, so it's really, really nice. Alright, so now for highlighter, I'm gonna grab my Anastasia of Beverly Hills Sun Dipped Glow Kit, and I'm gonna grab this shade right here. This one is called Summer, and add a little bit of Moonstone together, and apply that right here. Ooh, I love these highlighters from Anastasia. A little bit on the tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin and the forehead because, you know, that's what we do. Now what I'm gonna do is jump onto the lips. So I'm gonna go in with this lip liner right here. This one is in the shade Whirl, and I'm just going to line my lips. Alright, so I'm also going to go in with this right here. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipstick in the shade Send Nudes, and this has been my go-to. I absolutely love this. It is a lipstick and lip gloss in one. It is the perfect shade, and I love it. And I'm so upset when I go to the drugstore because I can never find this one. So I'm gonna have to order it online because it is that good, you guys. If you guys haven't picked this up, this is like an everyday kind of lip color. So, and for mascara, I'm using the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill mascara. Alright, so now to set the face, I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. Alright guys, so this is the final look right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. This is my easy glam, and I love everything from the eyes to the blush to the highlight, the skin, everything. It just looks amazing. I have to say that this palette was not disappointing. It is the best. Love it. And you know what? I don't know why I'm like surprised, or I'm not even surprised. I knew that this was going to be a really good palette. I was just really happy that I was able to purchase this for half the price. Look at this. This is like the perfect everyday palette, you guys, and the shadows are absolutely amazing. They blend really, really good, and they are just like the best. I know I'm going to be using this for like the next couple weeks constantly, and I just love this eye look right here. You can go from super glam to super just like simple, and I love it. So now for this right here, this primer, you guys, I'm so happy that I finally purchased it. $18 for this right here is definitely gonna last you because you need the littlest bit, and the best thing about this is that it has a freaking pump. Like $18 for this with a pump is pretty in pink frosted jar. Like, come on, can't get any better. And yeah, all of the other products that I used in today's video I've used before, and I love them. Also, this one right here is actually new. I purchased the shade Honey, and actually I like this one a little bit better than the other shade Cocoa, just in case you guys were curious. But I really do like it. I feel like it's more of a everyday kind of color. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and yeah, if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.